Welcome to the first in a series of videos that I'm doing, and these are going to be videos on hand technique. So hand technique, I would say, is probably it's one of the most important parts of playing the drums. When you get your hand technique really together and you really work on it, you're improving basically everything else that you do on the instrument. And I would say that the difference between being able to really fly around the drums and play what you hear and play really creative and being kind of locked up, a lot of it has to do with hand technique. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the fundamental technique that is crucial to playing the drums. And this is intended to be a reference, so if as you're working on this technique, feel free to come back to this video and watch it. But we're just going to be on the pad today. This is a technique that I recommend you work on primarily on a rubber pad that has a lot of bounce to it. Like this one. This is a Vic Firth stock pad. And this is a good pad for this. So get yourself a pair of heavy drumsticks. Get yourself a nice rubber pad, and we're going to get to work. So the free stroke is the most fundamental technique for drumming. Now, with what we're going to be working on in this video, the most important thing is how well we can play the free stroke. It's no good to hack away at it or play it really fast if we know we're not doing it correctly. So our goal is to do it very, very, very correctly. And if you spend some time, even if it's the slowest thing you've ever done in your life, if you spend some time doing it really correctly, I promise you that it will really pay off. It'll have some amazing effects on your hands. I know it did for me. I'm speaking from experience. So the first thing is the free stroke is a technique where we have all our fingers on the stick. We throw the stick down, and the stick is going to fly back up of all of its own energy. Okay? So we're basically performing half of the work that would be required if we were to play in a traditional way, where you throw it down and then boop, lift it up. So what we're basically learning how to do is dribble the ball, where it's like dribbling a basketball, except that in this case the stick it's a drumstick. So the most important thing when playing the free stroke is the concept of rebound, is the aspect of rebound, meaning that the stick will bounce back when we throw it down on a bouncy surface. How I like to first teach this concept is to put the stick, we're not going to play this way, but put the stick in your hand in this fashion so that the stick is actually in this little crook of your hand. So it's in between your index finger and your middle finger. And I want you to play some notes, going straight up and down, and you're going to feel the stick, because basically this is going to feel really out of control and weird. You're going to feel the stick fly backwards. You're going to play a note, feel it fly back. Play a note, feel it fly back. Okay? I want you to memorize this feeling. This is what we're going to try and cultivate when you have the stick in your normal grip. So now that we've done that, you're going to get a little bit of a sense of how it feels for that rebound to be in effect. This is what you want. You want a pure bounce from the stick. Okay. So try this step, stay on this step for a couple minutes, really just sit with it and try to get a pure bounce. The reason we're holding the stick there is because it's a little harder to really squeeze the stick and get in our own way. We don't want to get in our own way here with this. So then once you have that, we're going to kind of do the next step here. Now the next step is we're going to basically set up our normal grip as such, but we're actually going to leave these 3 fingers off the stick. And we're not going to perform this way, but this is a training tool for the free stroke. So when these 3 fingers are off the stick, it's going to kind of look like this. Here's another angle. It's like that. So you'll see that the stick is pointed backwards. with the thumb and the index finger, and the wrist is up. So the wrist is up, and the stick is cradled in this fashion in the hand. You'll notice that the stick comes back, and the stick is going to point back. It's not going to point directly into your shoulder. So if the stick kept going, we don't want it to go directly into your shoulder. We want the stick to basically go just past your shoulder. Okay? And that means that, that you have the right angle. So your stick is going to look like this in the up position. Just practice this a little bit. Hold the stick here, and what we're actually going to be doing in a second is throwing the stick down with our index finger. Okay? So the stick is pointing all the way back. I'm going to show you a few different angles with this. So it looks like this at the very top. You see that? It's okay if there's a little bit of a space in the hand between the thumb and the rest of the hand. That's okay. So we're here. Now what we want to do is we want to throw the stick down using our wrist and our index finger. Okay? Feel free to just air drum it a little bit too. Okay? It's going to look like that. Now we're going to actually throw it down. When we do, the most important thing, it starts with an R. The most important word in this whole process, rebound. Boom. Oh, see that one? I hit the rim accidentally, and the stick didn't want to fly back. The most important thing, the stick should feel like it's charged with electricity or something. Or it feels like you just, replace the batteries in the stick or something, and the stick is just going to fly back. Now you'll notice I'm taking this very slow because I don't care about speed at this point. I care about, am I doing the technique correctly? A couple rules. The stick is never going to touch the inside of your hand. There's always going to be this space between the stick and your hand. Always for this technique. It's never going to be against your hand. Okay? The other rule to this is that the stick starts and stops up. So we're starting here in this up position, throwing it down, and it's going to come back to this up position. Okay? Starts and stops up, never touches the inside of the hand. Those are the first two rules. Okay? And in fact, those are perhaps the most important rules. Another one is that our arm is going to be completely relaxed. This is all coming from the wrist and the fingers. Okay? So those are basically the three main rules to get you started with. So this is the exercise. I want you to, if you need a little bit of assistance, kind of remembering how that rebound feels, go ahead and put the stick in this crook of your hand right here. We're not going to actually play this way, but you're going to feel the stick start to shoot back in your hand. I want you to really memorize how that feels. Do this for a couple minutes. You can put on a song you like. Even put on, a whole album. And sit with this for a little while. Just you and your pad. Okay, a couple minutes. Once you're starting to get this, then you're going to put the stick in your normal position, normal playing position, except with the three fingers off, okay? And then what you're going to do is throw it down with the index finger. It's going to fly back. It's going to feel totally weird and wobbly and out of control. At first, the stick's going to want to do all this, but stick with it, pun intended. Keep doing it, and eventually you'll get a feel for how to control it. But remember, if you're having to lift the stick at any time, it's no good. If the stick touches the palm of your hand at any time, it's no good. Okay? So, our goal with this is not speed at all. We want to be accurate with this. You can see I'm hitting right in the center of the drum. Okay? Now, the natural progression with this is to add fingers. Now that's for the next video. So I want you to just sit with those few concepts for this video. And my goal when I'm doing this, and your goal as well, is just to play perfectly accurate completely relaxed, rebounding strokes, okay? And this is going to take your hands to a new level if you've never done this before. Most people have never done this. So just to recap, we have the first step to this, which is going to look like this. A little on the other side, the other hand will look like this. Okay? It doesn't really matter what your fingers are doing as long as you're feeling that rebound from the stick. Okay? Now we want to drop that as soon as possible, and we want to move to this position. Okay, so you're here. Let the 3 fingers come off. The stick is going to flop back a little bit. You're going to throw it down, never picking it up. Only throw it down. Okay? No arm is involved in this. So those 3 rules. Only the hand does this, and the arms are completely relaxed. The second rule, the stick never touches the palm. The third rule is that you start and stop up. The fourth rule is that you never pick up the stick. We're not doing any picking up. Okay? Now that's the intro to the free stroke. We are going to continue to talk about this, continue to work on this. The next step would be adding your fingers and trying to get the same effect. Which takes a little bit of doing, but I have some more steps for that as well. Happy drumming. Best of luck with your free stroke. And remember, we want accuracy, and we want to be really getting that technique, really getting it right. Happy drumming. Happy practicing.